against by the school board when it failed to provide reasonable accommodations for the child from 2016 to 2020. Carter is deaf and speaks American Sign Language. Inclusion Canada, Newfoundland and Labrador, sees the win as a win for everyone. Tina Neary is executive director of that organization, and she joins me now. Good morning, Tina.
Good morning, Gerri Lynn.
Thanks so much for joining us this morning. In what way is it a win for other children?
Well, I struggle with that word, actually. I mean, I'm the one that certainly put that heading out there. But at the end of the day, is it a win? Something that should just naturally be happening for all young children, all children with exceptionalities. So what this Landmark case has done is just set the stage and precedent for other children and families who are experiencing, this kind of discrimination at the hands of, any of the programming, school boards, education, et cetera, that they're involved with.
Yes, and that intention is definitely a win. What does it say about flaws in the system that the Churchill family had to fight for 6 years to gain access to the education that Carter needed?
Yeah, it's shocking, really. When you have individuals that are already at disadvantage, I mean, why would anyone want to spend that many? I mean, we're not talking about a few days and a few months. I mean, we're talking years that this family had to, fight for what their son should have been receiving all along, and the amount of years and money fighting against something that, at the end of the day, it would have been a lot easier to support. So I'm more about, really, our organization at this point, I think, is about not so much what has happened. Everybody's very aware of that, and I've had an opportunity to talk with the Churchills, but it's more about now what's going to happen moving forward. What exactly are we going to be able to do to continue to advocate and support for these young people and families so that something like this will never happen again?
Yeah, what changes do you hope will happen as a result of this ruling in favor of the Churchills?
Well, I think we need to see that, there's a lot of buzzwords out there that we use, right? We hear in documents, we hear inclusion and equality and accessibility. With these buzzwords, we don't hear, accountability and openness and transparency. And I think that's what, we hope for moving forward, is that there is programming in place. I mean, the itinerant teachers in this case, they were speaking it from the beginning. The Human Rights Commissioner said, that there was a failure to respond to the concerns raised by these rosters of itinerant teachers. I mean, that's their profession. Listen to them. Hear what it is that they have to offer. They had programming that they were offering, and it was being ignored. I mean, that's their job. That's where they excel at it. So we need to listen to those that understand what is happening, what's required, what's needed for these young people, all of them, not just for deaf education, but all children with exceptionalities.
We're speaking with Tina Neary, Executive Director of Inclusion Canada, Newfoundland and Labrador. Do you see many cases in our province where students are denied the opportunity to fully access education?
Well, there's many of them, yes, but not many of them who have taken the lengths that the Churchill family did. And again, it amazes me how they were able to hang in there for all of those years. But it just shows the commitment and the passion that they have, and that they've now set the stage for other families to, hopefully not have to endure this type of thing for this long, or at all, for that matter. Excuse me, but. There's a lot to be done. There's a lot of change to be made. We have the resources. They're there. We just have to have the individuals involved support them and listen and follow through with what is required. There's a steering committee. There's a steering committee for the deaf and hard of hearing community. I mean, we need to have our parents representing them, like the Churchills. I know they're a very big part of wanting to be involved in that. And I mean, it takes those with the lived experience to be involved in those projects and initiatives to be able to ensure that these situations and issues don't continue to happen for our children who deserve a right to education, regardless of their struggle, their issue, their disadvantage, whatever individuals want to call it. Everybody should go to school every single day and get what is deserved, what is their right, and that is an education in all languages.
What do you think of the school system's ability, I guess in general, to be inclusive and provide access to quality education for children with intellectual disabilities or exceptionalities?
it's there. It's there for them. The resources are there for them. To say that, it was our best intentions to provide the quality education that was necessary is just simply not good enough. There are people out there who are educated to be able to provide this kind of service. And so, yes, there are many schools out there who are very inclusive. We provide an inclusive education award throughout the province to nominations every year for schools that are stepping up, that are, reaching the bar, that are supporting all children with exceptionalities. And, it faltered huge in this situation. And, again, moving forward, it's our hope that Carter, every day moving forward, gets exactly what it is that he deserves, and the opportunity to catch up and be on par with his peers and feel that he's not isolated and feel that he's welcomed and included. It's all about inclusion in so many different areas. And yes, absolutely, Gerri Lynn, schools have the abilities to do this. They just need to partner with everybody involved. They need to recognize that the resources are there, and they need to listen to the people that know and understand what's required for these young people, and follow the model that is set for everybody, to receive the education that's required.
Tina, I thank you so much for joining us this morning and talking about the ways in which the Churchills have become change makers for other children with disabilities in this province.
Thank you very much, Gerri Lynn.
And happy International Women's Day.
And you as well. Thank you.
That is Tina Neary. She's the Executive Director of Inclusion Canada, Newfoundland and Labrador, and